calling for an end to the destructive demonstrations here in Portland. It is 5 o'clock. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jeff Gianola.
And I'm Elizabeth Din. Today, the mayor, other local leaders, and community members met again to talk about the problem. Our Liz Birch was there to ask the tough questions. Liz joins us live from outside the federal courthouse with what she learned just a while ago. Liz?
Elizabeth, out here at the federal courthouse, we see those fences are back up. And if we take a couple steps this direction, you can also see the windows are boarded up now as well. After several destructive demonstrations, Mayor Ted Wheeler said the city is fighting back with everything they've got. I asked the mayor what his plan is to prevent more destruction like this, given the fact that the vandalism is reminiscent of several other demonstrations that have been going on for the better part of a year.
It's very hard to prevent people who are intent on criminal destruction. Of course, the First Amendment of the United States Constitution guarantees the right to assembly. It guarantees the right to free speech. And therefore, the tactics that are being used by the Portland Police Bureau and our law enforcement partners are all after the fact.
He said he hopes people see from law enforcement today that they won't put up with this. And he hopes they'll hear from community members who spoke, like Elle Gordley, that the destruction doesn't help the Black Lives Matter movement.
All the violence, the gunplay, the anarchist behavior, and lawlessness in our streets is disturbing everyone's peace and has some of us feeling that we're living in fear.
Friday night, police used a controversial tactic called kettling, or mass detaining protesters.
You are all being detained for the investigation of a crime. You are not free to leave.
The mayor said he supported that decision. I asked Deputy Chief Chris Davis about it too.
If the focus of the group is really criminal activity, then you reach a point where there is effectively reasonable suspicion to stop the entire group.
But in an interview with the ACLU, their representative called this tactic unconstitutional and said PPB needs to stop using it.
The fact that law enforcement, both federal and local law enforcement, continue to engage in blatant abuses signal to us that we need to try a different approach. And that's why we're calling on the Attorney General to investigate.
And the ACLU also expressed concern. They said that police took pictures of people in the crowd. Live in Portland, Liz Birch, KOIN 6 News.